So I came and I played, I was here a little while ago. How many of you guys remember? How many of you did not see the Love Loud show? Just curious. No shame in that, it's cool. It was a great show, it was really, really fun to do. By the way, if you haven't seen Dan's documentary Believer, it's spectacular. It literally, like, I saw it at Sundance, which I don't normally go to, and I've only been a couple times, and he invited me to come to the showing of the documentary at that thing, and it was this little tiny theater. Like, sometimes you think of Sundance as being like a lot of, like, you know, Hollywood film people and whatever. This didn't feel that way. It felt like, I mean, there were some people in the room from, you know, HBO and whatever, but it was a lot of just like friends of theirs and people involved with the movie and people that were in the movie who were just regular people that they filmed and who are from here, by the way. And it really struck me, this whole, because the movie is basically about, I think the backstory, which I don't know if they've talked about very much, but the backstory was that he and the director were actually setting out to, like, film something else. They were going to film like a more music-based, like, you know, Imagine Dragons-based, Dan-based kind of movie. And the more he thought about how so many young people in Utah are taking their own lives because they don't feel accepted and they don't feel like they're worth anything, that he wanted to do something, and so that's what they made the movie about. Now here's the really, really weird thing, is that I was watching the movie at the Sundance, it's a Sundance Resort, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah. I was watching the movie at the Sundance Resort, literally like 364 days after I was there with Chester. Well, actually, it was 2 years. It wasn't 1 year. It was 2 years after I was there, like, on that weekend with Chester. And so it was just so weird to watch that movie with that premise in the same place. It was just such a weird coincidence. And I told him, like, it was just so moving. Like, people, the whole audience was like crying like half the time. And I told him, like, whatever you need, man. If you guys are doing another Love Loud show, I'd love to be part of it. And so that's what happened, and that's how I became part of it. It's just more, it's like sometimes there, you know, if we look, there are, you find that, like, sometimes coincidences might not be just coincidences. You know, it's like, oh, there's something to this, and it's weird that I was here on this time, and maybe I should just kind of roll with that and see what happens. Now, the show I played then was it was just me on stage, right? Yeah. That's the point. And I was kind of thinking about finding some other folks to come on stage with me, and I didn't want it to be confusing. I didn't want it to be guys from Linkin Park. I wanted it to be a new thing. And I eventually found Dan and Matt. Make some noise for Dan and Matt. Awesome guys, really talented guys, and I'm really grateful to share the stage with them. And so, yeah, so obviously tonight is kind of an evolution of where that's come from. And all of that is just to say that, like, you know, sometimes stuff happens. If you guys are at, like, ground zero of something that's happening to you right now, you know, if it's early on, if it just happened this week or this month or this year, like, life goes on. And you can keep going. Like, you can keep moving on, and you can keep making something out of it and finding your own path on the journey ahead of you. And I don't know you, but I wish you the best on it. And if me doing it helps give you the courage to keep it going, then that's a good thing. feel like I've talked a lot tonight, so I'm not going to talk anymore on this part. I do want you guys to do on this song what we always do, which is I want you to sing Chester's parts. Make some noise for Chester.
We love you, Chester!
And it goes like this.
R.I.P.
Starts with one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away, it's so unreal. Didn't look out below, watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on and didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised that it got so far. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. Kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Put my trust in you. Push as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. So far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even